just washed my face, so it's all red and oiled up. All right, here's my bookish update. It's noon on Tuesday, so I haven't really done any updates. I didn't really do anything yesterday. It's been a week. So, where I'm at. In the Diviners. I am on, what's today's, day 4 read? So I've gotten like 2 or 3 chapters into today's pages. I did catch up. I was a little bit behind because of Sunday being out all day, basically. I'd only read maybe a third of what I was supposed to, so I read the rest of that and yesterday's pages yesterday. Good Lord, I'm loving the foreshadowing of it, things that are like being said to characters just in passing where you're like, oh my God, that comes into play in book 3. Like, ridiculous. Liva Bray must have sat down and planned out everything, which makes me wonder why it took so long to write the 4th book, but also writing books is very hard, so I guess I get it. But I wonder like how much of what we know is going to play into the 4th book. Like, did she put seeds of information in this book that we'll see come to fruition in the 4th book? I knew I loved this series, but like rereading it is just solidifying that it's one of my absolute favorites. So I'm about to do that. I've already worked out today. I had my breakfast and a little snack that you saw. So I'm gonna sit down and read this. The baby's sleeping. The big kids are with my in-laws for a couple hours just to get a little bit of a break. It's been a bit of a long summer, but school's right around the corner. I am still working through the Wind Up Bird Chronicle. I've got an ebook from the library, so I'm not physically holding it anymore. So I've been kind of chugging through it at night. I'm almost halfway there. If I get it read this month, I'll be very proud of myself, not gonna lie. Other bookish updates. I had been reading The Wicked Saints by Emily Duncan. Last night, I got to page 108 from 102 as of Saturday night, and I'm just not invested in it. I really liked it in the beginning, and I just can't seem to care about the characters, and I'm not ready to say like I'm DNFing it, but I don't think I want to push myself to read it during the NEWTs, because this is like a month where you have to go and get stuff done, and chugging through this is just not on my list of priorities. I've got too much other stuff going on, so I'm going to put that aside. This was for my gorgeous cover, so I really have a lot of options to replace it. I haven't decided what that will be yet, but instead of forcing myself through this, I picked up a book I was more excited for, and I mean, this is the book of the month cover, so I don't have the dust jacket with me, but I did start House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig last night. I only got about 25 pages in, which is approximately 5%, but I'm already invested in it. I like the voice, I like the writing style, and I like the beginning kind of mystery. It's told from this perspective of a woman named Anna Lee. She is the 6th daughter in 12 daughters. And the first 4 daughters in her family have died. And so she is now the 2nd in line to inherit the island they live on. And when they die, they're put back into the sea because they're like born of salt, you know? So it starts at the funeral of the most recent death, the 4th sister in line. So now she only has 1 ahead of her. And people think they're cursed, but Anna Lee thinks there's more to it, especially the most recent death, which is less accident and more the circumstances. She doesn't believe that they fit her sister, where she was, how it happened. Something didn't sit well with her this time. And she's got a new stepmom that is currently, I don't know, there's weird stuff about her. I don't want to give away any information, but in 25 pages, a lot happened, and there's a lot of characters to juggle, and yet I'm already invested. So I'm excited to see where this goes. This is either going to be the black cover under the dust jacket, because it is mostly black, or it could cover the gorgeous cover in the wake of Wicked Saints, because the actual dust jacket I find incredibly pretty. But also, I don't know, I might pick up, not right now, but like in place of Wicked Saints, A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, because I really do love this, and it's a little bit shorter, so it might be better to get through for the NEWTs. That is my bookish update. I don't really have much else to say. I just finished watching Run BTS, and I'm gonna read for a little while. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next update. Oh, I didn't take the video. No. You still dancing? Dance, dance, dance. Are you posing? I'm taking a video, you goof. Oh, is that your new pose? For dinner today, we are doing Beyond Meat, Beyond Burgers. some roasted potatoes and cauliflower with some homemade vegan ranch. Yum, 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 yum. Hey guys, what's up? It is almost 8 p.m. on Wednesday night. I haven't done a whole lot of updating because today was super busy. This morning I went to the dermatologist as a follow-up, but also because they suggested I do like a skin cancer screening, which apparently everyone is supposed to do, especially once you hit 30, once a year, and I've never done it before. I did it. They actually did take a little piece of freckle off of my shoulder here, which is really sad. I liked the freckle. But apparently it had 2 red flags, so fingers crossed. But that's your PSA from me today, is if you haven't ever had a skin cancer screening, you should probably go do that, because you never know. I had no concerns and here we are. Yeah, that's what else do I say after that? Hey, guess what?
I have skin cancer.
They took a piece of my skin in case it's skin cancer. So anyway, moving on from that, I then had to take my daughter to her, she'll be 5 this month, so it was her 5-year checkup and, you know, shots for school, etc. So she did so well. She had 2 shots and a, because we believe in vaccines in this house, and a prick on her finger, and she didn't wince, she didn't whine, she didn't cry. She was such a big girl. I was so proud. Between her doing that and Oliver with the dentist the last month, so impressed with those two. So we then went to Target and had a little girl date at Starbucks, and then walked around and she showed me all the things she wants for her birthday so that I could show other people when they finally ask. For the first time in all of my years of parenting, when someone asks what does she want for her birthday, I will have definitive pictures. So we did that. By the time I got home, it was probably, I don't know, 4 o'clock. So I had a little reading this morning, and I read a little bit between my appointment and her appointment. And then I finished after dinner my reading pages for the Diviners, which puts me at, I mean, you can see we're done tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day, and I'm going to be sad having to wait for next month for the next book. But it ended at such a good point today. Honestly, if you've never read it before, when I got to this chapter, I was like, what a great chapter to end on. Like, what a cliffhanger for tomorrow. For anybody who's reading it for the first time, I'm sorry that ended day 6 of the read along, because it's such a place in the book where you want to keep going. But I'm excited to finish it tomorrow, and I'm loving it just as much as I've talked about already. Libba Bray has like made it to one of my top writers just in this reread alone. The woman is a genius. I don't think I could ever write the way that she has written this series, but goals. So there's that. Now, I said before that when it comes to the NEWTs, I'm probably going to move a lot of my TBR around. I did it with the owls. I have like an outline when I go into it. This is exactly how I write too. I have an idea, and then as I go, I alter things as necessary. What I didn't think about, because I'm dumb, and I realized in watching Cody's video earlier today for her TBR, her Wheel of TBR, and what she tried to fit into the NEWTs as well, is that in order to properly do this readathon, you're supposed to read in order. So if you have a class like, if you're supposed to take potions, let's say, you're supposed to read your A book before you read your E book, before you read your O book. You should read them in order. You can't just willy-nilly say, this is what I'm doing, and here we go. And I panicked a little, because part of me thought like that seemed like the way to do it, but I didn't actually consider that that's how it was. Even though I've watched the whole video, I watched it way before I made my TBR and then just forgot. But for the most part, I have read the A book before I've moved into the E book. I don't need an O in anything to be a healer. I just need an A or an E in each of the 5 classes, because I need 10 books in order to be a healer. And it just is happenstance that aside from the Diviners, which is my A book in Transfiguration, which was a set read along, so I couldn't really do anything about that. I read Princess Jellyfish before that, which is my E. But otherwise, for potions, I finished All My Friends Are Superheroes by Andrew Kaufman as my A, and then I read, I can't read my handwriting. Oh, I read My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren after that, which is E. So I finished my potions completely, though I'd like to get O's and everything just because I'm extra like that. So we'll see, but that's now open, which means that right now, what I'd like to do, I have replaced my Herbology A, which is listen to an audiobook or a book with green on the cover. It has gone from The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks as the audiobook to possibly like a novella by Neil Gaiman that's green. The On Honeymooners by Christina Lauren came in from my library on ebook. I thought I'd have to wait like half a year based on where I was in line, but sometimes when the book is like high demand, it comes in sooner. So that came in and I started reading it while I was in the waiting room of the dermatologist today, which is perfect because it is my A. Look at this. Look at all these notes. See all the scratch offs? Crazy. I am just a chaotic mess. In any case, that will be my A, so that when my friend Jamie gets back from her vacation and we do our buddy read for a dirty job, which is my E, I will have finished my A prompt before my E prompt. So that is going to take precedence. Now that I'm caught up on the Diviners tonight, I'm going to continue reading the On Honeymooners because I read like 5 pages maybe. So I can get that done before starting a dirty job. Now, I also said that I DNF'd Wicked Saints. Currently, I'm not like completely done with it, but I just don't want to push myself for the readathon by Emily A. Duncan, and that is for a gorgeous cover, which I need to read before I read Full Metal Alchemist, the manga. And I'm kind of torn with what I'm going to do, but my heart says to read Sorcery of Thorns because I really want to read it. And people that have the same taste as me in fantasy, I've heard really good things about it. So I think that's going to slide in there once I'm done with the On Honeymooners. And lastly, my last A that I need to read is book that's Black Under the Dust Jacket. So I started House of Salt and Sorrows. That will be that. And after that, my E is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. So I've got a lot on my plate. And on that note, I also got my pre-order. I'm going to rip the box real quick, hold on, of a book that I'm highly anticipating. Such a pretty book. It is so freaking thick, and that is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This is beastly. It doesn't look that bad, but the pages are thin. These are thin-ass pages. All right, let's see how many pages this beast is. Oh, geez. All right, we are topping out at 654 pages. I really want to get to this month. This is one of those where if I get everything else done, I want to read it this month. Where would I put it? Where would I put it? Where would I put it? Does it start with a prologue? Let's take a look. Let's actively. You know what? Yep, we're going to call that a prologue because there's a 8 years prior chapter that's a few pages long. 8 years prior. I don't want to spoil anything. We'll call that the prologue. That prompt is for the O in potions, which I have finished the A and the E for. So if I finish 2 or 6 other books, this will be on my agenda. Top priority. Look at this. I can't wait to finish it and put it next to the Poppy War. What a beautiful book. What a beautiful... This is like the first time in a long time where I've looked at American USA covers over the UK covers and been like, you know what? They nailed it. Props to that artist. All right, that's it for me. That is my long ass update after a day of not updating. I am going to go read some more of the On Honeymooners. I cannot get over the size of the Dragon Republic. I just keep looking at it. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is pretty lax day. But I am dragging my husband to go see Bring the Soul.
Shoot me.
The BTS movie in theater. So that's it, but that's at night. So I've got all day to finish the Diviners and move further into the On Honeymooners and possibly the House of Salt and Sorrows. So I'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, that's it for me. PSA done, update done, crazy chaos explained. I'll see you in the next one. All right, well, quick update. It's almost 4:15. We are waiting for my mom to show up to watch the kids tonight so we can go to dinner and go see Bring the Soul. My reading update is that I finished The Diviners by Liv Bray this morning, well, this afternoon I suppose. Still a 5-star, an even better 5-star probably, because the second time around there's just so much foreshadowing you pick up on that you don't see the first time. And I forgot just how much happened in the first book. There are things that happened in the second half of this book that I thought didn't happen until book 2 or 3. Jam-packed full of action, and really looking forward to September when we read the next book, which is Layer of Dreams. It's been a good read-along, so again, looking forward to that. Also, I started The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren yesterday. That will be my green on the cover in place of an audiobook, which is my acceptable for, I don't remember what, but I couldn't put it down last night. I read 29% of it. I had to force myself to put it down to go to sleep. I mean, it's got all of the tropes and cliches that you would expect in romance, comedy, contemporary, where it's like enemies to lovers and they use the wrong names for each other intentionally, and they go on this trip and there's only one suite with one room and one shower and one bed, and they're quirky and they're mean to each other. And the premise is just that the maid of honor, who you are seeing the story through the eyes of, is a twin. Her twin gets married in the very first chapter, and everyone at the wedding gets food poisoning except the groom's older brother, who is our narrator's, our protagonist's, like, mortal enemy. They're the only two that don't get sick, but because the one is a twin and the other has the same last name as the groom, they take the honeymoon that's non-refundable vacation and pretend to be the newlyweds, even though they hate each other. It's funny, it's quirky, it's quippy, I'm enjoying it. I will probably finish it tomorrow. I got to 29% last night, but I haven't really read it today because I wanted to finish The Diviners, obviously. And then I will be out most of the night tonight, so I might get a little more read, but I don't expect to even hit the halfway mark by tonight. It's possible, though, because I can't put the book down. That's that. The next physical book that I'll pick up and continue will be The House of Salt and Sorrow. That will be for my black Under the Dust jacket. So I'm moving along at a very good pace. But the second books that I have, the E's, are going to be a little bit thicker and longer fantasies, so I'm a little bit weary about how my pace will continue. So we'll see. Doing well so far though. Thursday, is it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. August 8th. Technically my half birthday. All right, see you guys when I see you. Bye. Psst. You ready to see BTS? Chelsea said she never sees you in vlogs, so. I haven't done any vlog updates since like probably Thursday when I went to see the movie. I'm headed out to the store because I need to get drinks for tomorrow when I go to my mom's. I don't know if I've mentioned already, I probably have, that my mom finally sold her house. Technically it's under contract anyway. So we've got 3 more weekends with her at the house we grew up in. My sister normally brings drinks lately to make ginger beer, which is one of our favorite Moscow mules. And so I told her that I would take the reins this time, so that's what I'm going to go get, and a couple other things. I finished The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren last night. I will update my thoughts on it later. I'm also about a third of the way into House of Salt and Sorrows. I will update you about that later. And once I get that done, I do believe that I've finished all of my acceptables for the NEWTs. And I've read 2 of my, what does the E stand for? I don't remember right now. But anyway, I got 2 of those done. So I think I'm 5 books in to the readathon, which is not that bad. That is it for right now. I will be updating you later. Bye. You want your banana? Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? No? Can I have a kiss? Gotcha. Alright, I promised an update earlier, so here's my update. Waiting for dinner to finish. I have no chair, so I am kneeling awkwardly, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. Beyond Honeymooners. Let's go there first instead of House of Salt and Sorrows. I finished it last night. I didn't expect to by the end of the night, but then it turned out that there was like 8% that was just stuff at the end. I don't know what it was. I didn't even look at it, but once the author's note hit, it was only like 92% through the ebook. So anyway, didn't expect to finish it last night. Did. I gave it a 4-star. This whole readathon, aside from the Diviners reread, has been a 4-star readathon so far. That was my 5th book of 10 that I need to read and 15 that I'd like to read. I'm definitely going to hit somewhere in the middle, I think. For a contemporary romance, which isn't my favorite genre, but is probably 3rd favorite, I really enjoyed it. I really liked... I'm a big fan of enemies to lovers, and what else were the cliches / tropes that I really liked in that? When people call each other by the wrong name purposely, and they had the whole like, we go on vacation and there's only one suite with one bed, oh no, that kind of thing. But my qualm is that at about 60%, the storyline kind of turns away from the characters' romance into some familial drama outside of them, and it focuses on that up until about 85% of the book. So a good quarter to a third of the book is this drama that I didn't really love, but I understand that there needs to be a storyline outside of them. I just didn't really care about it. So I read the first like 30% super fast, and then kind of drug through 50% through, I don't know, 80%. But it was fun, it was quick, it's a perfect summer read. I'm not mad I read it. Christina Lauren is hit or miss for me, and that was more of a hit. So that is green on the cover because I don't feel like listening to an audiobook this month. The alternative for that is to read a book with green on the cover. Hold on. So that was herbology, which means that the only A I still need, well, I'm working on Defense Against the Dark Arts A, which is book that's black under the dust jacket. And then I still need to read a book with a gorgeous cover, which was supposed to be Wicked Saints, but as we know, I decided to push that off. So that's probably going to be Sorcery of Thorns if I'm feeling very ambitious after I finish House of Salt and Sorrow. Or it could be The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab. So we'll see where I'm at when I'm done with the next book, which is House of Salt and Sorrows, Black Under the Dust Jacket. I am 33% of the way through this. I'm enjoying it. It definitely reads a little bit YA fantasy. I say that not to be like, oh, YA fantasy, but just so you know that it does read a little more juvenile than some YA fantasies. Like if you hold it up against Six of Crows, I guess, that you're looking more at like the level of, what can I compare it to? The Cruel Prince maybe is more like up comparative. I'm enjoying it though. There are a lot of characters to keep in your head because there's the 12 sisters, 4 of which have died. That is not a spoiler. That's how the book starts out. Then you've got the king, the dad, and his new wife. And then you've got all the side characters, like the people that take care of them, and then people they know within the town. There's a lot of people to juggle, but you're only hearing it through one perspective, which is Annalie, the main character. She is the 6th in line to get the kingdom. So now she's the 2nd because the first 4 daughters have died. So the family is cursed. The town thinks they're cursed. The girls have realized that because the town thinks that, they're never going to get married. No one's going to trust that they'll stay alive and inherit the kingdom. And I really like it. It has a lot to do with the sea, obviously Salt and Sorrows. They're on an island. Magic is just coming into play now, 33% through. The rest of it is, it's actually a lot spookier than I expected. There's a lot of ghosty, creepy things that happen in this book that I didn't know was part of the plot. So be aware of that. There are a lot of spooky things. So if you find like the Diviners a little scary, this will probably also be categorized as scary for you. But I'm enjoying it. I hope to get a little bit further through it tonight. I want to finish it probably by, I don't know, Monday night would be very nice, if not Tuesday. That's it for that update. I still need to figure out what I want to do for gorgeous cover. I haven't really spoken to you guys since we went and saw Bring the Soul, the movie. A girl that was like in the audience came and passed out a bunch of things. So I have a ton of these bookmarks. Her shop here. Can you see this? Let's see. There you go. So if you want to check her out, she also gave like stickers and photo cards and stuff. I don't know. She's just some random person in the audience that did a very kind thing for anybody that was hanging out there early. So that's it for me. I am making one of my favorite foods to make. So I'll show you that in a clip. It's basically buffalo cauliflower in a place of buffalo wings with vegan ranch sauce, as well as some potatoes and maybe some beans just to round out the meal. I'm going to read tonight, probably play a little Destiny tomorrow, or going to my mom's as usual. It's Sunday. And that is it for me right now. I will see you guys when I see you. So I made the janky version of this, which is that I basically toss it in a bowl and then cook it, but it's breaded, cauliflower baked, and then you add like vegan butter and hot sauce, Frank's hot sauce. Bake it some more, make some vegan ranch, dip that shit in, and then have some baby carrots too to feel healthy. All right, bye. Alright guys, it is the end of the week, so here is the quick wrap up of the week so I can start the new vlog and get this edited and uploaded. This week I finished 2 books, I believe, and I read a bunch more for others. So, what did I finish? I finished The Diviners by Libba Bray, which is the LGBTQ+ representation. I read this in the read-along, we all know, awesome, 5-star reread for me. Can't wait for the next book next month. Then I finished The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, which covers the Herbology A, which is to listen to an audiobook or read a book with green on the cover, and I went with the latter, green on the cover. There are like leaves and stuff all over the book. So those are the 2 that I finished. I currently DNF'd Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan, which should have been my gorgeous cover book, but will be replaced with something else. I haven't fully decided yet. So what I'm currently reading right now is The House of Salt and Sorrows by, who is it by? I keep saying it, but I never, okay, Erin A. Craig. I'm about halfway through as of today. I have a lot of thoughts on it, but I'm going to wait and talk about it more starting in the next vlog. And then finally, yesterday I started A Dirty Job by Christopher Moore. This is a buddy read with Jamie over at Jamie Reads. This will be my, now that I finished On Honeymooners, which was an A for Herbology, this is the ebook for Herbology, which is a book between 350 and 390 pages. And I believe this tops out at exactly 384, so right up there. We read a decent chunk of it yesterday. We're kind of doing like a loose buddy read because this is a reread for me and the first Christopher Moore book for her, so I'm really excited to read it with her. That is it. I will talk more about this in my next vlog, but I will wrap up right now. Thank you for being here, guys. I hope that your NEWTs are going well and that August is treating you well as well. Like if you've liked this video, subscribe if you are new here and would like to see more content from me. I leave all my social media links down below. You can find me on Goodreads and Instagram and Twitter. Hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.